Hello, everybody. Scott Golden here for Wrestling Logic YouTube channel, and on a rare Friday, I'm actually able to get this in before my work shift starts. I unfortunately watched SmackDown live as it happened. I say unfortunately because usually I can zip through things, get through the commercials and the like, and be pretty okay. But unfortunately, I had some time today and was able to watch the show normal and in the, I guess, proper format. I will say a couple of things. One, if you're new here, please like, subscribe, comment below, all that good stuff. Two, I could write a better show if I was on every drug on the planet and high out of my brain. This show is getting worse by the week. Oi, I don't. And yet, there's people that are watching it. So, also, what it makes me wonder is about the human race in general, specifically wrestling fans, that they find this stuff entertaining enough to still watch it, in droves enough to. They draw what, 1.5, 2 million people a week? I don't. Why? I don't understand. Anyway, so they start outside the performance center. There's a hit and run accident that's taken place involving Elias. Um, I think this is bad taste with all that's going on in the world, although the counter argument would be this is Fox, and thus they're used to, you know, for lack of a better term, dramatic um, actions and such. It kind of looks like a news scene the way they're doing it. The police and ambulance are here. Elias is on the ground. EMTs thankfully put him on a stretcher. Renee Young says they saw a car crash and injure Elias. Witnesses also say a person in black pants and a black shirt ran off, and they smashed the car on the side of the parking lot and on the curve. Cops checked the vehicle and found it belongs to Jeff Hardy. Now, Hardy has a real life history of substance abuse. I have a real life history of substance abuse myself. Been drug free for 21 years, alcohol free for 4. I find this angle offensive because, okay, scripted thing, but you've made him look like a hero because he's overcome his stuff, and then you bring it into a storyline. Not even 6 weeks later, you're mocking his issues with addiction. It's classless, it's tacky, it's uncomfortable, it's pointless, it's disrespectful, and it proves that the people who write this program, I'm not going to attack them as people, but I will attack them creatively, have the creative sense of swans who have been fried in pork fat. They don't know what matters from a creative standpoint. This is horrible. It's terrible. Now watch, it probably gets good ratings because that's where the minds of the majority of people are. Anyway, Caleb Braxton corners Braun Strowman. Strowman comes up and he says he witnessed the crash. He saw the car and he saw somebody run out. The Jason Jordan and Jamie Noble find Jeff Hardy passed out near the scene. He's wearing the aforementioned clothes. Cops notice he smells like alcohol, and police then handcuff Hardy and put him in the back of a vehicle. Again, you're making fun of the guy's substance abuse issues. To me, that's crossed the line. Anyway, Young points out that he appears to be intoxicated, and he gets arrested. And I guess you can play on these real life issues if you want to. I just think, especially with the pandemic, playing on someone with substance abuse right now is a low blow. I don't think it's appropriate. I don't think it's good television. But it's obviously going to be polarizing for many folks. Anyway, we go to the commercial break. Adam Pearce addresses the roster. He notes that Elias is injured, and Jeff Hardy's going to jail, and AJ Styles is happy. says this means he's automatically the champion, or that actually that he takes on Bryan in the finals. Bryan doesn't like this idea and says we should pick somebody to take on to take him on, and then AJ calls him stupid, which I have to agree. If you get a bye, why don't you take it? I get being a man, but in theory, if wrestling is real and you make more money for being a champion, aren't you going to relish the ability to save your body? Again, logical here. So people argue, and then Pierce announced the Battle Royal next. Gee, I wonder where they got that idea. Oh, AEW. So the normally defended championship on AEW, the TNT Championship, is their first contender is decided by a Battle Royal on Wednesday, and now we have a Battle Royal on Friday to determine the number, not the number one contender, but a replacement in the number one contenders tournament for the SmackDown champion, the Intercontinental Championship, which they call the Workhorse Championship, which implies that they're going to go back to having it defended more regularly to basically mirror image AEW. And if people don't see it, I'm sorry for you, but it's all right there. It's, again, lazy writing. Anyway, so Battle Royal comes about. Gran Metalik, King Corbin, Drew Gulak, Jey Uso, Lince Dorado, Cesaro, Shorty G, Sheamus, Dolph Ziggler, Shinsuke Nakamura. Those are your Battle Royal participants. I don't like Battle Royals, so I won't really comment on this. I guess it was fine for what it was, a good time filler. I do think that they could have had someone like Jey Uso or Shorty G or even Cesaro win this and give Bryan a match. I don't think having Sheamus win it, which is where they went, really means anything. We've seen Bryan and Sheamus before. The idea of wrestling should be matches we have not seen before on television to give us the feeling of unpredictability, and really it's a throwaway match no one will remember in 2 weeks anyway, so I don't think it matters really who won anyhow. So Cesaro gets rid of Ziggler with a press slam over the top. Sheamus is yelling at Michael Cole. Shorty G almost eliminates him. Corbin gets rid of Dorado. And then we see Gulak try to get after Corbin. Doesn't work. He gets eliminated himself. Metalik hits the double springboard elbow onto Corbin. And Ziggler, he walked to the middle ropes, but Ziggler nails him with a super kick, and Corbin gets rid of him too. They're still pushing Corbin like he's a world beater, and I don't get why. Ziggler tries to double cross Corbin, but Corbin eliminates Ziggler. Instead, we go to the break. We come back. Sheamus and Cesaro work together against Shorty G. Nakamura backed Uso into a corner, and then Shorty G uses an armbar on the ropes on Sheamus and follows up with a tornado DDT. Man, for a Battle Royal, this feels really long, but again, I'm not a Battle Royal fan. So anyway, Uso makes a comeback, hits a series of moves, he eliminates Cesaro. Final four were Nakamura, Sheamus, Shorty G, and Jey Uso. Again, of the four that are left, I give either Shorty G or Uso the rub to give them the ability to main event. Somebody might tune in on flipping channels and go, hey, I haven't seen this guy in a main event before. Let me stop and look. I don't think anyone's going to do that who just happens to be flipping channels for Daniel Bryan and Sheamus. Anyway, Shorty G eliminates Nakamura. Nakamura tries to get back in the ring. The referee, is distracted. Cesaro jumps back in and eliminates Shorty G for the trouble. Uso and Sheamus are the final two. And then Uso attempts a super kick, but Sheamus caught him and pushes him into the ring post. Sheamus then hits the bro kick to eliminate Uso for the win. Sheamus takes on Daniel Bryan in your main event of the evening. Sonya Deville promised to defeat Lacey Evans later. Evans comes up from behind her, pushes her, and then we go to a commercial break. Shorty G is arguing with Nakamura and Cesaro. Shorty is furious that his opportunity was taken away. They set up a match between Cesaro and Shorty G later in the night. Another match that really is inconsequential. Sonya Deville and Lacey Evans. It's fine, but I mean, they go to a double count out, so nobody gets over, nobody gets ahead. It just is here to fill time. Second match of the night here just to fill time, and they're on network TV, so this is just frustrating. They go back and forth. They do a little bit of amateur wrestling. And believe it or not, what do you call it? Lacey Evans holds her own there, but I guess she had some collegiate style training. And Deville is furious. She nails Evans with the right hand. Evans fights back, and they trade shots. They rock each other with punches and forearms. Deville takes her down to the ground. They fight around ringside on the floor. They're both counted out, so nobody wins, nobody cares, and it is what it is. Then we go into the Forgotten Sons stuff. I mean no disrespect if you are military, but I don't like military angles in my pro wrestling. I never have, I never will. I guess it has a lot to do with me being a pacifist and anti-war. But regardless, when I see soldiers turning heel, I think, hey, who's your target audience? Do you really want to get a bunch of vigilantes together and make them angry? Do you really want to insult the U.S. military? No matter what you do with angles like these, they never win. They never get ahead. But anyway, Forgotten Sons, I said they'll no longer turn the other cheek. Their blood is on the hands of the American people, and your blood's going to be on our hands is basically the way they went about it. A moment of bliss with the New Day. This was actually kind of funny, and so far at this point in the program, the best segment of the show. So New Day comes out. Nikki Cross gives them Scottish pancakes, and they give Bliss and Cross. That sounds like a medication. Did you take your Bliss and Cross? Anyway, they give them coffee beans. I don't really get the inside joke there. The New Day puts over the Forgotten Sons as possible challengers and good challengers. The women put over the Iconics as their next challengers. Bayley and Sasha come out. Banks throws her jacket at Bliss, but Cross held Bliss back. Bliss points out there are 5 champions there and asks about Banks not having a championship of herself or for herself. The New Day finds this funny. Banks noted that they put the women tag team belts on the map and promised to win them back. Bayley then said Banks would defend the honor of the team and prove they were the best tag team by taking on Bliss. Banks is not ready to compete. Bayley ran to the back, gets her gear. Bliss then drop-kicked Banks into the ring. I mean, this is probably match-wise the best quality match so far on the night. And again, they still tease problems between Sasha and Bayley. I don't want to see them go at it for the 787th time, but that's where they're going, and we got to deal with it. Bayley and Nikki join the announce table. Cross is going crazy on commentary. Bayley was getting frustrated and basically telling Nikki to shut up constantly. Banks paid tributes to Hana Kimura by wearing a black Hana armband, which is that's classy. That's classy. And that was Sasha Banks that did that. I completely respect that. So then, uh, from there, the match continues onward. Banks has an early advantage. Bliss takes over during the mid part. Double knee for the near fall. Banks regains control and hits the Meteora for a close near fall of her own. Banks backs her into the corner. Bliss fights back. Bliss knocked Bailey off the apron. Banks hits a springboard into the ring and rolled up Bliss for the sunset flip for the win. I mean, not the best ending, but the match itself was decent. Then we move on to Shorty G and Cesaro that was set up earlier in the night. Good match, too short. I wish they were doing more with Gable. Gable's being wasted. Heck, Cesaro's being wasted. And I mean this in all sincerity. So, obviously, you never want to see a person lose their job. But it's clear, after I don't know how many years, that they're not going to give Cesaro a main event push. They're not going to treat him like a champion. I even say I wonder if he's not the most talented guy not to hold a world championship in the last 15, 20 years. Comment below if you think there's someone in WWE who's more talented than Cesaro who hasn't had that opportunity. I can't think of anyone off the top of my head. Anyway, so his matches are too short. Imagine him in AEW, imagine him in New Japan. I think Cesaro would do better and is wasting his career by staying here, but I understand the concept of keeping the money and doing what you need to do to provide for your family, but it's just sad that he's wasting away here. Shorty G hits a drop kick and then hits a moonsault for a near fall, and he spends the next several minutes working the leg of Cesaro. Cesaro recovers and rocks him with a clothesline. Cesaro in control for the next several minutes. Hits a gut-wrench suplex bomb for near fall. And Cesaro catches him with a powerbomb for a second near fall. Cesaro attempts a back suplex off the top, but Shorty lands on his feet and applies the ankle lock. Cesaro fights back, rocks him with hard uppercuts. Cesaro attempts several pinfall attempts, but couldn't put him away. Shorty G rolls through and ends up getting the win. Shocking here, but not good for Cesaro. Anyway, Otis and Mandy are hanging out by the pool. This is just... oh my gosh. I can't even put into words how bad this is. It's kind of like a cheesy adult film premise with a dream sequence with a slow guy and a hot girl. I mean, it's just... if you like wrestle crap, go watch this. If you don't like wrestle crap, don't even put 30 seconds of this on. They have peach champagne. Rose takes a nap and has a dream about how attractive Otis is. Otis, they make out in the pool. Kurt Angle puts over Matt Riddle when we come back. And they do a promo package for Riddle about him being unpredictable and coming to SmackDown. I am taking 90 days or less in the pool that says they will mess up Matt Riddle on SmackDown. Comment below how long before they take a guy. I think Matt Riddle is probably in one of the top 3 guys in the company in terms of potential right now. So Sheamus promised to defeat Daniel Bryan, and they go face to face, and they recap the Miz thing for the network preview upcoming. Main event time, thankfully. Sheamus and Daniel Bryan does drag a bit. The match quality is fine, but it's if I never saw it, I wouldn't feel I lost anything. Basic matches early, back and forth, headlocks and the like. Series of kicks in the corner, and then Sheamus recovers and rocks Bryan with a clothesline. Sheamus slows the pace of the match, and Bryan hits a suicide dive. We go to commercial. Bryan in control, works over the arm. Sheamus breaks free, and then sends him back to the floor. Sheamus then tosses Bryan into the barricade. He demands Michael Cole do a yes chant. Cole does so apathetically. Then Bryan tries fighting back, and Sheamus follows up with a Texas Cloverleaf, but Bryan makes it to the ropes to break up the hold. Bryan goes into the top turnbuckle, but gets cut off. Bryan hits a missile drop kick from the top and a series of yes kicks, but Sheamus tries the Irish Curse backbreaker, and Bryan rolls through, rolls him up. Sheamus hits the white noise for near fall. Sheamus sets him up for the brogue kick, but Jeff Hardy walked down to ringside. Sheamus yelled at Hardy. Bryan hits a running knee and gets the win. Post-match, Hardy jumped Sheamus, but Sheamus ran off. Michael Cole and Corey talk about seeing Hardy go to jail. What's this about? Bryan versus Styles is your finals for the Intercontinental Championship, number one contendership. Miz and Morrison next week have a warning for Strowman. Women's Tag Team Championships, Bliss and Cross versus Bayley and Sasha. That's all that's set for next week. I assume they're going to say that there's a body double for Hardy and Hardy got framed or something. No matter what, it's a crappy storyline. Anyway, comment below, like, subscribe, do all that good stuff. We are trying to get to 1,000 subscribers so we can help with the COVID relief fund and all that good stuff. So comment, like, and subscribe, do all that, and we'll be back this weekend with many of the TNT series, so look for that as well.